Hello, and welcome along to Adobe After Effects with your host, Robert Smith. In this part 3 of mapping a texture onto a cube and then animating it, we're going to add a camera and have a bit of a fly. Now, the minute you get hold of a camera, you really want to do all sorts of dramatic movements, but it seems that if you keep your movement to a minimum and quite a smooth, it looks much more professional. Yeah, smooth approach. So let's get stuck in. Okay, what I'm going to do is, first thing, now I've only got 90 frames in my timeline here, if you have a look here, which is 90 is not even 4 seconds. So what I'm going to do to change that, I'm going to go to this little box over here. I'm going to type in 250, which will give us 10 seconds of timeline. Press return. Now, if you're not used to this timeline, how you expand is you grab this arrow and you drag it to the right, and now I can see lots of keyframes. If I drag to the left, I'm zooming in, much the same as it would be in After Effects. Okay, so we need about, for this movement, I want it at about 6 seconds. I want it to move, go from the original position to where it's going to animate to. So to do that, I'm going to start my original position. But before I do that, I need to make a camera. So I'm going to click up here on this camera thing here, click on camera. I'm going to turn it on by clicking on that little icon here, like that. Now, those of you that are camera bugs or camera people will understand all this focal lengths and all this stuff down here, so you can really simulate a really fine camera. But we'll just accept the defaults at this stage. Okay, so let's start. Let's get our starting position. We'll grab our playback head, bring it back to the start, like that. And we just might have a look and see how far they're going to animate. They're going to animate about that far. Great. So I'll zoom out a little bit by holding the 2 key and just dragging like this, and that'll be my starting position. Okay, and we'll put a keyframe here like that. Then I'll move along. I'm going to move along to, say, about 130 frames, like that. And then I'm just going to zoom in just like this, in a dramatic sort of way, to about there, like that. So we cut off the top and the bottom rectangle, but that's okay. What we're really interested in is this logo, and that's right in the middle of the screen, and which is what we want. And I might just hold the 3 key down, just turn it just a fraction, like that, and maybe down just a little bit, like that. I can either use these icons up here, or I can hold 1, 2, and 3, depending what I want to do. Okay, so let's put a keyframe in there, and let's have a look at that. See what it looks like. Okay, coming up nicely, quite a smooth little movement, which is exactly what we want. Okay, let's stop that and stop it there. Actually, we might move it to about here. Watch it again. Okay, great. That's what we want. Keep pressing that space bar. If you're an After Effects person, you're probably used to pressing the space bar. It doesn't work in Cinema 4D. Okay, let's Apple R to have a look at that. Okay, quite like the look of that. So let's just save that, Apple S to save it. Click anywhere to get out of that preview mode. Apple S, Command Tab, back to After Effects. And let's have a look at what we've got now. It's changed. Now we can move our timeline a little bit longer, and we can grab this and drag it. Because it's 10 seconds long, we can drag it past the 6 second mark. Let's have a look at that. Okay, and again, away it chugs like this. As you can see, this adds a brand new dimension to After Effects 3D. If you're used to working in the 2.5D world in After Effects, you should find this quite useful for all sorts of things. It's good for introductory scenes, for typography, good lighting, all sorts of things. Okay, as it chugs away here, this is quite a recent Mac I'm working on, yet it's still having problems. I'm actually watching in full resolution. I like to see it in full resolution. So as you can see, it's coming up to fill up the screen. So what have we done? We've actually animated the objects in the area, in the world I should say, and then we've added a camera and had a bit of a fly through that world to give us an interesting, if you like, interesting layout using that cube with the JPEGs mapped onto it. Okay, that's enough. Let's have a look at that. Okay, I just might bring my playback head to there. away we go. Very nice indeed. Okay, now one thing I want to do is, I think, let's say I want to adjust this. I want to play around with it. So I'll just stop that and Command Tab back to Cinema 4D like this. I think these rectangles are coming out a little bit too fast. So let's see if we can fix that. I'm going to go to Cube 4 like this. And there's the keyframes associated with it. So I'm going to grab that to frame 80. Go to Cube 3, do the same thing. Drag those to frame. Hang on, I'll just grab that and drag it to frame 80. Like that. And the next one, we'll click and drag that to frame 80. That'll slow it down by half. It's just a little bit too fast. Because we've got this nice relaxed camera move, we want to have those animations to match. So if I go through here like that, let's watch it now. Okay, I quite like that. I'm going to stop that and save it. Apple S to save it. Command Tab back to After Effects. And let's watch it again. This time I'll drop that down to half so it happens just a little bit quicker. And away we go. Yes, After Effects and Cinema 4D are really good friends. They do amazing things together, and with a bit of thought and a bit of design, you can come up with great typography and all sorts of things. As you can see, it's a little bit dodgy. We have aliased edges, but we'll get the movement anyway. I quite like that, the slower movement of the cubes as they come out. It just seems to match the camera move, and that's something you should do all the time, going back in between After Effects and Cinema 4D, just tweaking and adjusting things. Okay, that's as far as it needs to go, so I'll just stop it there, press the letter N, and away we go. Okay, great. Quite a professional or architecturally an architectural look to this, but very nice indeed. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the